I'm Derek with 9 to 5 Google, and if you've been a PC user for a long time, you probably have an old laptop lying around. Maybe it sits in a drawer collecting dust, or maybe you've passed it along to someone else. But Google hopes that it may be able to put a bit more life into that old machine with ChromeOS Flex. Built off an earlier product from a company Google acquired, ChromeOS Flex lets you install Google's lightweight operating system on PCs and Macs. But should you? Obviously, Chromebooks aren't for everyone, and if you're an Apple user already, the idea of switching to a Chromebook is probably laughable. Installing ChromeOS on your 10-year-old machine isn't suddenly going to make it run like new, but it can provide a bit of new life if you plan to hand off the machine to a kid or relative, or even if you just want another web terminal around the house. Going to ChromeOS Flex can bring new updates and security improvements to otherwise abandoned machines. Of course, one of the main selling points of ChromeOS is also one of its main downsides for many people. Almost everything runs in a browser. You won't be running Photoshop, playing any AAA games. It's a lightweight operating system based around the browser. But if that's the experience you're after, ChromeOS Flex brings it to your old machine. You also don't have to erase what's already there to give it a try. You can run the software off a USB drive before deciding whether or not to make the switch. If you don't like it, you can easily switch back. But if you do, you can choose to install the software on your computer's hard drive. To give it a try, you'll want to make sure your specific model of computer is certified, because there are a few Apple computers that aren't fully certified, and PCs from other manufacturers have varying levels of support. But there are a ton of certified devices. In addition, you'll need an 8GB or larger flash drive that can be erased to install the ChromeOS Flex recovery tool. To start off, you'll need to install Google Chrome and the extension Chromebook Recovery Utility. Make sure you enable the extension, then you'll set up the USB drive as your installation media. So open the extension, identify your device as a ChromeOS Flex device, select your USB drive as the target, and hit Create Now. This will totally erase your flash drive, so make sure you have nothing important on it. Once the flash drive is set up, you'll need your computer to boot from it, so shut down your Mac and turn it back on while holding the Option key. Select the USB device, then you're in the ChromeOS Flex setup screen. If you haven't ever booted from an external device before, you'll need to hold Command-R while booting to enter recovery mode. Then you'll go into Utilities, select Secure Startup Utility, and choose Allow booting from external or removable media. At that point, when you restart and hold the Option key, the EFI boot option should appear for ChromeOS Flex. If you want to install ChromeOS Flex on a compatible PC rather than a Mac, the key you tap during startup may vary, but it's likely either the Escape key or the F12 key. That will open the one-time boot menu, then you can select your USB drive to boot from. With ChromeOS Flex opened up, choose Install ChromeOS Flex to install it to your SSD and overwrite your existing operating system. If you just want to give it a try and you want to be able to return to your previous macOS or Windows installation, choose Try It first. At that point, you're just using ChromeOS like you would on any other Chromebook, though potentially sporting an Apple logo and build quality that you won't find on any Chromebook off the shelf. If you don't have one of the fully supported devices, your experience might not be perfect. Remember when I said to check that your computer is certified? Well, my 2018 15-inch MacBook Pro isn't on that list. I was able to boot into ChromeOS, but then I wasn't able to do anything. I had to connect an external keyboard and mouse to get it working. It also wouldn't recognize the Wi-Fi card, so I had to connect an Ethernet adapter and then reboot to get any internet connection. With the external peripherals though, everything else in ChromeOS was working as expected. And if you do this with one of the certified devices, I would expect to have none of these problems. Logging in with my Google account, Chrome is automatically set up how I had it, and any passwords saved in Chrome are auto-filled just like before. Everything in ChromeOS is extremely snappy, which makes sense when you consider that the operating system is basically just a web browser. After spending some time using ChromeOS Flex, I can see why plenty of people would prefer this simplicity. Now, one of the downsides of using an old computer as a Chromebook is, quite simply, how old the hardware may be. While a lower power operating system will allow the computer to seem faster and last longer on battery than it previously did, you'll still be running an older, higher power, and less efficient processor than many Chromebooks. You'll also be doing so on a battery that's been charged and discharged for several years, degrading its capacity. There's a chance that battery will last you long enough, If you plan to remain connected to power most of the time, that won't be a problem. But if you want to get that battery replaced by Apple, it'll cost $129 for a MacBook Air or $199 for a MacBook Pro. If you're interested in giving ChromeOS a try, for yourself or perhaps your kid, ChromeOS Flex is a great way to see if it's a good fit for you. If it works out, then you can install it on the main drive, use your old machine as your new Chromebook. And if it isn't a great fit, switching back is a breeze. Just turn off the computer and unplug the USB drive. Do you have an older computer you might try ChromeOS on? If so, let me know in the comments down below. I don't plan to run ChromeOS on my MacBook long term. I actually recently set it up with Windows through Boot Camp for some astrophotography software. But if you plan to, I would love to hear why. Give this video a like if it helped you out, and subscribe to the channel for more from 9to5 Google.